Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're studying auditing or just want to deepen your understanding of audit standards, you're in the right place. Today, we're summarizing Slaus 620 using the work of an auditor's expert. Let's get into it. Slaus 620 provides guidance for auditors when they use the work of an expert to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. Why does this matter? Sometimes, an auditor needs help from someone with specialist knowledge, like a property valuer, actuary, engineer, or IT expert, especially in complex areas beyond the auditor's expertise. Before relying on the expert's work, the auditor must evaluate the competence. Do they have the right qualifications and licenses? Capabilities. Do they have experience with similar assignments? Objectivity. Are they free from bias and independent from the audited entity? For example, if the auditor is relying on a real estate valuer to assess fair value of investment property, they must check if that valuer is certified, has a good track record, and is not closely connected to the client, such as being a former employee or relative of a director. There should be a clear understanding, ideally in writing, on the nature, scope, and objectives of the expert's work. Roles and responsibilities, timing of deliverables, method of communication, confidentiality obligations. For instance, if an IT expert is brought in to assess cybersecurity controls of a bank, the agreement might specify that the expert will test firewalls and report findings in a technical summary by a set deadline. This helps avoid confusion and ensures expectations are aligned. The auditor cannot blindly rely on the expert's report. They must assess whether the expert's findings or conclusions are relevant and reasonable. Check the consistency with other audit evidence. Review any assumptions, methods, or models used. Verify the source data the expert relied on. As example, if an actuary estimates a company's pension liability using certain mortality assumptions, the auditor needs to ask, are those assumptions consistent with industry standards? Do they match what the company used in the previous year? Is the source data, like employee age and salary, complete and accurate? In most cases, the auditor does not refer to the expert in an unmodified opinion. But if the audit opinion is modified, say, due to a disagreement on asset valuation, and the expert's work helps explain the issue, then the auditor may refer to the expert. Even then, they must clearly state that the auditor is still fully responsible for the opinion. For example, let's say an engineer was used to assess environmental damage provisions, and the auditor issues a qualified opinion due to uncertainty. The report might mention the expert, but it must also clarify that the responsibility lies with the auditor, not the expert. To summarize, Slaus 620 is about using the work of experts responsibly. The auditor must evaluate the expert's competence, capability, and objectivity. They must agree clearly on the scope of work. The auditor should critically evaluate the expert's findings, and be careful about making references in the audit report. I hope this breakdown helps you better understand Slaus 620. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your questions in the comments. Until next time, stay audit ready.